And
Hello!
start the chat box.
Welcome to Immersion.
Hello, hello, hello.
Happy Sunday.
It is Sunday.
It is Sunday.
It is Sunday.
Forward. Yeah.
And it's still daylight. It feels very strange to be doing this in daylight. Well, twilight, I guess, really, but it feels strange, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does feel really weird.
Yay.
And everybody remember, use your chat, say hello. We'd love to tell us how you are. And yes, we know that it's just a photo of me. I could see the video of me, but they couldn't, so presumably you guys wouldn't be able to either. So you get a photo. Woohoo! A photo with bouncing circles.
That cracks me up.
Oh, goodness. And I was just telling our call-in participant that we had no technical difficulties last time. So I think she jinxed us. I'm going to blame it on her. I got to blame it on somebody.
Absolutely.
I know she knows it. I'm just kidding. All right. So I was up at the Christine Center in Wisconsin, about 5 hours north of us here this weekend. Stayed in they called it a modern hermitage. And they had rustic hermitages, but I think ours was fairly rustic. I guess what distinguished us from the really rustic ones is we had running water and Oh, and a bathroom. But it was very lovely, very simple, just a wooden cabin, and it had couch and furniture and two beds but it was very simple. The stove was just 2 burners, no oven, a little sink, a tiny little fridge, and the bed frames were handmade or homemade or whatever.
Nice.
Very simple, all wooden floors. The bathroom walls didn't even reach the ceiling, so it was free for all. There wasn't even a doorknob on the door to the bathroom. It was a swinging door thingy. But it had sleep number beds. It had sleep number mattresses.
Wow.
Is it like a
I've never been on one of those before.
I don't like.
I'm a 55, in case you're curious. I have no idea what that means, but that was my number. That was my sleep number. I had now had a sleep number.
Door like a saloon?
Except for not with those slats. Well, it didn't swing both ways. It just swung one way, but it was okay. It was nice. It was in the woods, and all the snow around and the trees. It was really lovely, and the food was vegetarian. I mean, simple food, but it was delicious and prepared with love, and so it tasted yummy, and they had all kinds of neat things. I'm actually going to email them and ask for a few of their recipes because I was like, "Ooh, this is really good."
Very nice.
Kathy wants to know if there's saloon doors.
It was like one saloon door, but without the slats. But it didn't swing both ways. It only swung out. So when you went in, then it would swing shut behind you. This is the best thing about the bathroom. There was a shower stall, there was a toilet and a sink with a mirror, and approximately 2 square feet of floor space. So you had to get in, swing around the toilet. Then if you want to sit down, you got to go over to the sink, drop your pants, sit down, and kind of swing back around.
At least it was indoor plumbing.
It was indoor plumbing, yes, and there were people that did not have indoor plumbing, and yay for them. I mean, I would have survived that as well. I was very grateful, but I was like, this is a tiny bathroom. I mean, just no place, no place to. I mean, you had to just kind of turn around in your spot. There was no dancing in there. That's
I must admit, it's not like I'm high maintenance, but I think I'm just spoiled with plumbing indoors.
Yeah. It is a nice feature of living in this society, yes.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, but when you go camping or something and you have to dig your little hole, that's not so bad. I don't mind that. I don't
On
know if I want to do it every day, but
on the Discovery Channel, they have a show called Living Alaska. I love it. And I mean, it is just a total different way of life up there. It's beautiful, and the scenery and, just the way they live is so rustic. It's beautiful. I
yeah.
would maybe give it up to live up in Alaska.
Yeah, my cousin just moved to Alaska with his family.
Really?
And yeah, they've been posting all these pictures on Facebook, of the outdoors where they're going. And so it's just incredible. What a great opportunity for the kids. And like their first day there, they went into the grocery store or something, and some guy came in. Everybody stay inside. There was a bear. So everybody just stay in the store. That doesn't happen here too much.
No,
No,
thankfully.
we see
No
that.
bears.
So okay, I'm gonna go shut my door. You guys start explaining for our newbies what we're gonna be doing. I'll be right back.
You want to go, Lisa? Explain.
All right, so Karen is going to connect to Source, um, and we are going to receive a blessing. If you can, please sit with your back straight, whatever position you find comfortable, and just allow whatever happens to happen. Do not hold any. Do not tie yourself to the outcome. Do not hold any expectation. Just allow for what comes to you and allow the experience to come to you.
And
The only ones on the screen you'll be able to see is Wendy and I tonight. There is a chat bar on the side. Should you have any questions, comments, anything, please go ahead and feel free to post them. We will go silent when Karen begins, and when she comes back, she'll give you a few minutes to just kind of come back leisurely. If you have an experience that is uncomfortable, just breathe through it. Just allow and breathe through it. And know that you are always divinely guided, comforted, and you are connected to Source as well.
And remember that if you don't feel anything, that's okay too. Sometimes people don't feel anything, but that doesn't mean that there isn't something happening. It might be a day or so before you feel it. And then another thing too, that when you keep coming back, the healings build on each other, and then you're able to go deeper. They go deeper, and sometimes you don't notice anything for a few days. So don't, what she was saying about don't, put any expectations on what the outcome is. Just let it be, and I think you'll be very happy at the outcome. Are you back, Karen?
I'm back. I'm like sitting
It's hard
like,
to tell.
say anything. So okay. So did you mention about the 1 minute delay?
No, I didn't. And I just thought about something else too. So what she's talking about, there is a 1 minute delay between what we say and you hearing it. So especially when we get to the comments and questions and so forth, keep that in mind. But the other thing is that this is a very internal experience. So whether you decide to sit down or lay down, close your eyes, because when you have your eyes open, then you're looking at other things or other people, and it's not the same. So the best thing to do is just close your eyes, relax, remember to breathe.
Yay! Okay, so anybody have any questions? Are there any questions that we need to answer at this point, or are we ready to go?
We are ready to go, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so get comfortable, relax your muscles and joints, everything relax. That includes your jaw. Drop that lower jaw. Let the energy flow through you to wherever it's going to go, whether it can be in any part of your body, physical body, metaphysical body, spiritual, emotional, blah, blah, blah. You guys probably said all that already. I missed the beginning of what you said. Okay, so I'm going to say my prayer now, and off we go. Excuse me. Keep those shoulders relaxed. A focus here on the left side of the brain may or may not apply to you, applies to somebody. As you breathe through it, breathe, breathe, breathe. We're going to deviate a little here from the usual routine. Tonight's topic being Connecting with Guides 101. As you're sitting or lying there receiving energy flowing through your body, focus with your mind on a space anywhere from 3 to 5 feet in front of you. Keep your eyes closed. See if you can notice an energy there. It may be a color, it may be just a knowing, you may see a figure. Just explore if you can notice some energy there, an energetic being. And leave it at that. Just see if you can do that. And if not, that's okay. If that's what they're asking that we do right now. Keep breathing. If you get any wonky thoughts, let them go. Keep breathing. Be. Just be. Inhale and exhale from your heart. Stay centered in your heart. All right. Come back as you like.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, what happened for you?
Well, I felt like I had a roto-rooter, like I got a vision of a roto-rooter going down. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Get any gunk out?
I sure hope so. I know there was some now, but I think I got the feeling that it was going to be an ongoing process because you don't want to overload the system with too much at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you were all perfect now, then what would you do with the rest of your life here?
Sit on the beach.
Yeah, and after a while you'd be going, okay, I counted all the sand in this area, and I gotta go count sand over there.
I know, you're right.
It's lovely, but it gets boring after a while.
Yeah.
Virginia, bye. Tired of waiting. Oh, she must have come on late.
Well, she said that she was having trouble connected. Did you start? And I said no. We hadn't started yet. And then there was that. So I don't know if she was having trouble getting connected or what she was waiting for. It made me feel bad. It makes me feel bad.
Yeah. Well, she may not. I don't recognize that name, so perhaps she had not. She wasn't familiar with what was going on. And then if she wasn't hearing right and didn't understand that there was going to be silence during the healing portion, she might have.
Yeah.
It's okay. So I would like to hear if anybody was able to experience the presence, in front of them, 3 to 5
Right.
in front of them.
Yeah. Who met their guides? Here we go. Help for the clueless, please. Wednesday, Karen mentioned a woman guide would help me. How do I get in touch with her?
We'll work on that, but so don't let us lose that. Don't let us lose Karen's comment. But
Okay.
did anybody experience? I'd like to hear what anyone experienced, if they did, during that portion of the healing session. Did you guys? Did either of you notice anything?
Yeah. Oh my God, I have a really, really cool guide with me. She is fierce.
Fierce?
Yeah, fierce.
Awesome.
She has
And is that who you saw in this exercise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And had you seen her before, or?
I haven't seen her, but I've heard from her, but I've not seen her, and today I saw her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How about you, Lisa?
I had my posse, my whole crew come in, and they sang happy birthday to me.
Wait a minute, is it your birthday?
Yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you. So they came in close, and I'm like, oh look, everybody's here, and they sang happy birthday for me. Some were making weird noises, so I don't think they really talk yet.
Don't think they're really what?
I don't really think they. I think I need a translator for that one.
Oh, okay.
But it was wonderful. I felt love. They were like, they sang and then they went like this, and it was like just.
Ah.
I know, it was like. Yeah.
Okay. Kathy says she saw the letter E. They said it as a puzzle for me. Then they showed me an S. I guessed the word C. They said yes. My guide was a pipe of gushing water or energy. Yeah, that's a beautiful way to see them, experience them.
Beautiful.
Anything else?
Experience colors?
Yeah, I don't know. We're not. People aren't typing. I don't know. Oh, I wonder how do we get the chat right away?
Yes. I believe we do. The chat comes up here.
Okay. Oh,
Wait,
somebody saw a red rose.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I did not meet my guide, nor did I feel anything. I believe that I come with an open heart and mind.
Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen. So, and we'll talk more about some ways to do this. I just wanted to see what people's experience, and that was your experience, and that's good. Like I said, so we saw the red rose.
She said
the pulsing in her temple again, close to her eye. And when we focused on the present, she saw a rotation of light and shadow. She felt like the light touched her hand.
A light touch on her hand, yes. Somebody else. I saw a being of light first, then he held out a globe of light to me, but a whole bunch of beings gradually encompassed each other one by one around the first one, and then they handed the globe to me. Oh, how beautiful,
Cool.
Kathy.
I want a glow.
That's beautiful.
You can't have the globe. It's Kathy. It's Kathy's globe.
I want a globe.
I'll get you a balloon.
A balloon on a string around my
Well,
finger.
globo in Spanish is balloon, so I'll get you a globo.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So questions. While people are making other comments, so the question for Karen about the guide for that red rose. What is? Wait a minute. Is this the same? That red rose, I think, is from the same. Is from that woman. Is this the same person?
Karen,
Is the red rose the same? The one with the question. Yeah. How do I get in touch with her? Is
Karen
it the same here? Is it the same? Because I think the red rose is from that woman.
Oh, just a second. That's Karen. Karen
that's
said
Karen.
that. Yeah, that's Karen. Same one.
Okay. Oh, Candace, I was being offered a bright light, which I pulled into my body. Oh, how beautiful. I also traveled through a tunnel and looked down on the earth. Also felt hugs. Oh, what a beautiful experience. Okay. Oh, the meditation made me happy. I was giggling. Oh, giggling. That's good. Yay. Okay. Big smile on my face.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Yes. Okay, all right. So, Karen, the red rose. All right, the time isn't yet for you to see her. So the red rose was her. So she stood out of the sphere of where you were looking and placed the rose there, and she was standing just outside that, the circle of, where your vision was, and put the rose there for you to see. Why is it not time for you to see her yet? Hold on. It's something about she's got something going on still. Did she lose? Does she know? Did she lose a woman recently? Karen, I guess.
Yeah, it's Karen.
Yeah, Karen, did you? Well, I guess it doesn't have to be recently because the whole time thing is
Right.
not my friend.
Well, while she responds to that, there was another comment here. I was laying down and my throat got really warm to the touch, and started crying for no reason. I didn't see anything, but I felt energy.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so connecting with guides until we have a specific question. Let's just talk about it some. So, as we experience this physical world that is, for lack of a better term, heavier than our normal life, than the normal metaphysical life, which is our eternal life, it's easy for us to kind of forget who we truly are, and that we are connected to all, and that Source and God and Heaven, whatever you want to call it, is right there, right exactly where you are sitting at this moment. You are in it. It's not out there somewhere. It's not over the rainbow at the, it's here. So for that and other reasons, we always have beings that are with us to kind of stay with us and guide us and help us through this journey that we decided to take on this earthly, this planet we call Earth. And so whether you experience them or not, they're there. if you decide, sometimes, a lot of times, children, we all know stories of children that, will talk about seeing beings, or, they have their, quote, invisible friend, and all of that. And, but as we get older, we forget, and we get wrapped up in physical things. They are still there guiding us, pushing us, nudging us, and we may or may not ever see them, because it's not really important that we do. But when we awaken and we decide, you know what, I would like to engage with them more, then there are ways that they will make themselves known to you, but you kind of don't get to choose whether it's going to be with your eyes, or with your scent, or touch, or a knowing, or a feeling. So I think the first thing we have to do is be open to whatever the experience is going to be. And so this exercise that we did just now, I think, was nice, that there was a variety of comments and ways that people experienced that. So that just goes to show that everybody's different. No two people it's not gonna be exactly the same. There are common strands, of course, but no two people are the same, and that's just the way it is. Okay. Do we have any questions, specific questions on how to connect, or?
Well, there is a question, but we're having some other sort of issue too, where there might be two conversations going on.
Okay.
We're trying to get down to the bottom of it, but
okay.
The question was, first of all, let's go back to this. Karen said, no, it's been years since she's lost a woman that she knows of.
Okay.
And then there's another question from another person, too.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay. If I'd have spent another second on it, I would have got this already. Sorry, I delayed us for nothing. But, well, no, it's all as it should be. I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, so she has her hand like on Karen's shoulder, and she's pulling some stuff. So she's processing some stuff for Karen, but that still doesn't explain why she doesn't seem to hurry. Okay, so Karen, use the rose. Use the rose, and use... if she has her hand on your shoulder, she's kind of above you. So say from her chest and above is above your head. Kind of looking off the right side of your skull, top right. Experience the energy there. And again, you don't have to, however you experience it. And if you don't experience it, know it's there. And what we want to do is have you continue to allow her to be drawing things from you. She's working on clearing some things of yours. And by you kind of being aware of it, you open up the channel more, and she can pull more from you. And she's saying, trust me. Trust the process, trust her, trust God, trust the situation. It is all as it should be. And the rose was there, as she gave you the rose as like a token, as a talisman, that it's all good. And, hold on to that. She says it's not necessary that you see me, but it's a big help if you work with her. So what I just said about, having the intention of allowing and helping her to help you.
Okay, our next question is, how many guides do we have, or does it vary from person to person?
It varies from person to person and experience to experience. So if I'm lying in bed at night, I probably I'm not a good example, because they have me working while I'm sleeping, so that's a whole different situation. But okay, so if you're sitting someplace in your home, safe and secure, having dinner, you have your regular guides, which could be 1 or 10 or however many, doesn't matter. But you don't really need, but if there's some situation situation comes up, say, a tornado is about to hit your town, then there are going to be some emergency guides that are going to come in and be with you through that experience. If you're going to school and you need additional help with that, anything in your life that's kind of, a period of your life. I think teenagers probably have a whole freaking crew with them because that's a rough time of life.
Yeah.
But childhood, marriage, sickness, challenges. If you're at work or you're having so you might have like a marriage guide, somebody that helps you with your marriage. But then on top of that, say you're having struggles in your marriage with communication or I don't know, sexual issues or emotional issues or whatever, then you're going to have even more help with that. When I'm working with people, say I'm working, I have my guides and the team that we work on you and your team is with that and stuff, but say we're doing a surgery, which really is no other way to call it, but a surgery, although there's no blood involved on the, I don't have to mop anything up. There's another team that comes in that's specializing in that particular work. So it fluctuates from person to person and situation to situation.
Wonderful. Cindy said, my best friend was an invisible girl named Kathy. I wonder if she was a guide or a spirit.
And how are we distinguishing between guide and spirit?
I don't know, Cindy, if you would like to distinguish, or if you can.
Okay, so spirit, and to me, spirit, small s spirit, as opposed to capital S spirit. Small s spirit is any being that is not. Oh man, I wrote a blog post. I almost finished it a couple months ago, and I haven't finished it yet, but it talks about this. I got to get that done. Okay, so small s spirit is a being, an individual, a consciousness who exists outside of physical form. And really, we are spirit too because we do exist in physical form. But for conversational purposes, we are, currently physical beings. So a spirit, so a ghost is a spirit. A guide is a spirit, but a guide isn't a ghost necessarily. So there are many, many categories under the umbrella of spirit. So a guide is a spirit, but a spirit necessarily is not necessarily a guide. So this girl that whoever this was talking about was a friend, a spirit, more a companion than a guide. It feels like she was fully aware of the guides that were with you, but she was more the one that you talked to, and she was, like your playmate and your guides are around and they're doing their thing, helping you, and she was with you. Maybe at that time you just weren't ready to have like adult guides, and so this young person. Very sweet girl. Being, I should say. Well, female being. Does that answer the question?
Are you finding more and more young souls that come in, and I experienced this with both my daughters when they were younger. They had imaginary friends, and when I look back and look at it, I know they were guides with them.
They were what to them?
Guides.
Guides. They were guides to them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, guides come in all different forms. I mean, it could be a frog,
Yeah. Fairies.
But I'm just saying, in this particular case, it feels like the major guides for this person that was asking the question, because so what I'm doing is I'm looking at the situation and I see the person and I see that girl that she saw, and that was like a one-on-one, like a relationship, friendship thing, and then I saw these other beings, these other guides around. So
that makes sense.
Very good.
So maybe, her presence was allowing things to happen or whatever, but so, maybe she was a guide in training.
Yeah.
we've got another question. What is the best or a good way to connect with your guides? I have a possible idea who mine are, but I'm not really sure. Thanks.
Okay. So who they are, what is it that you want to know about who they are?
The best way, he wants to know the best way to connect with them.
Okay, so all right, so the who they are is the second question. The first, right. Yeah, so so the first the best way.
Yes.
As we just said, because everybody's different. So I guess I can't say that there's a best way, except for I would always suggest that you, in any kind of metaphysical work, that you start with a prayer, that you are aligning yourself with the light, with Source, with God. Say a little prayer. First step, then that puts you in that right vibration. So one thing I used to do, I just still do this, actually fairly often, is I like to open up a book or a prayer book or whatever, scripture, anything, and I just allow it to open to the page that I need to know of something, a message for me. And so I open it, and always I read, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed right now. And I know that is me connecting with my guides, that they are giving me a message. I've asked for a message, and there it is. So finding simple ways to allow the message to come through to you and be open to what it is. And sometimes, literally, I will be driving down the highway and a truck will go by. I'll be having a question on my mind, and a truck will go by and it'll say something on the side, and I'll be like, oh my goodness, there's my answer right there. Who would have thought that a truck would have that on the side, but it did. You know? It's unbelievable. One time there was 3 guys that I was kind of engaged with, and I saw the first one's name on a truck. Then I saw the second one's name on a car, and I'm like, if I see the third one's name today, I'm just going to be beside myself. And I was on my way to Wilmette. I got off the highway, and usually I take, I don't know, dumpster or something, but for whatever reason I took 2E or something like that. I forgot, and I took a different street than I normally take. If there was construction or something. And I'm driving along, and I look up, and there's a restaurant that has the name of the third guide. I'm like, how do they do this? How can they pull this off? It's just amazing to me. So what I'm trying to get at is, the more you are open to allowing those things to flow to you, you'll see them. The more you look, the more you'll see. The more you listen, the more you'll hear. So, and it could be maybe you have a question on your mind, and you're standing in the grocery store, and you hear some woman in the next aisle talking to somebody else, and they'll say something, you'll be like, oh, that was for me. We have to be open. Once you're open and willing to allow it to come through, and again, like we said, even with the healing, not having expectations of how the message is going to come, be open to it coming the way it comes.
Very nice.
Once you make that decision and the choice that you want to communicate with them, that you want to hear from them, that gives them kind of more, that gives them permission to do more with you. So imagine somebody who is just not at all aware or interested in speaking with their guides. They kind of have shut the door, and the guides kind of, unless it's an emergency or whatever their life purpose needs to get, they kind of have to respect that. So the more that you want it, the more that they can come to you.
That makes perfect sense. I like it.
Kathy wants to know, when I feel something intuitively, are my guides giving me the signal? So it's pretty much what you were just talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and again, it's about trusting. And when you get a message that seems rather human, like I remember there was somebody that when they communicate with their guides, they had to have like tobacco or something, or no, it was candy. It was gum, or it's like some specific candy, Skittles, or I forget what it was. And I thought, I accept that you're communicating with somebody, but it seems to me like you're communicating with somebody a little too attached to this physical world than, for my taste, I would want. Somebody that is like so attached to the earth that they need Skittles to communicate with you, like that they want the Skittles, that they have a craving for Skittles, or whatever it was. Again, I don't remember. Then maybe you need to think about, maybe that is a spirit being, but it might not be to your highest good to be communicating with that person. Just because you get communication doesn't mean that it is a guide.
That's true. That's the whole point of staying in the light, making sure that you're, going through your source, your source energy. Yeah.
And whenever it's something that seems a little off, then just step back and go, okay, wait a minute. I want to go higher. I want to go to a higher being. I want something for my highest good, and work with that. And experiment. It's not an exact science. You have to work with it, and you build a knowing within yourself.
Okay, we got a question here. I have a guide who I think is named Max or Maximus. Can you confirm if that's his name? Then there's more. Sometimes it's a long time between visits with him, and he says things like he's been busy getting ready, but I don't know what that means.
Okay, hold on. Max is sufficient for the name. So speaking, let's do an aside about names. Remember, when you don't have a body, you're in spirit. That means you don't have ears and a tongue like we do. We use our ears and our tongue to communicate because we're using sound. If you don't have those things, you're communicating with a knowing, so you don't have to literally say something. You want to send a message to a particular being, it gets to that being. There's nothing about saying their name. You don't have to say their name. So this whole thing about names is not so important there as it is to us here. Because if I'm speaking, I want to know that Wendy knows that I'm talking to her. But again, in spirit, if I have the intention that I'm speaking to Wendy, then she knows I'm speaking to her. I don't have to say her name. I don't have to know her name. And another thing is some of their names are really, really long with so many syllables and vowels and consonants that you can't possibly say. So often they will just give you a short name like Max. That is sufficient. So when I say that's his name or that's sufficient, that's what I mean. That's what you can call him. That's really his name. Probably not, and it doesn't matter. Oh, it is not his name. She's saying, no, that's not my name. Okay, getting ready. This is somebody that you will be working with when you leave here. Doesn't mean you're leaving tomorrow. Remember, they don't have time like we do. So if he says he's getting ready, it's not like, don't freak out. Time is a different thing there. But he's preparing things for you and for a journey that the two of you, some growth journey that the two of you will have. Okay, please confirm that you're not freaked out about that answer. Okay, I want to. Time is not the same as here. So, okay.
Okay. Cindy, you want to comment if that's okay? And then it looks like we might not have any other questions.
Okay. It's 7:52 already?
Yeah.
Wow, that went quickly. Yeah. I will say the person that asked for this topic, remember she said how to connect with your guides and how does that even feel? It feels like love. That's what it feels like. When you feel that love and that just sense of calmness and everything, it's love. It feels wonderful. That's what it feels like.
It feels good. You know that you're never alone, and it confirms you're never alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Rose, um, it's there are only 3 people that you can talk to. So the chats, you have to follow the chat on the side there. But the only purple that you're going to actually purple people eaters, people that you're going to hear are the 3 of us. I know it's a little confusing at first, but you'll get used to it quick. Okay, all right. If we don't have any other questions, I guess we'll call it a night. I think we can expand on this, again at a future time. Did we get everybody's questions? You
Yes,
looked?
got everybody's question. Cindy just said that I don't think that she'll freak out and she gets it. And thank you.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, all right. What do we have a topic for Wednesday? I don't think so. We better come up with one.
Travel?
Huh?
When's the astral travel?
Astral travel?
Yep.
Does that work? All right. All righty, we'll do that. Okay. Good night, good night, good night.
Right.
Mwah.